In this video, 3D printed sim racing pedals. Hi guys, Pratik here. So today I wanted to show you guys the fully 3D printed sim racing pedals that I have designed and made. So most of the components in this design are 3D printed. We have a few M8 nuts and bolts and three springs, of which two are of different stiffness and one is of a lower stiffness for the accelerator. So this is temporarily attached to a multi-wood board right now. Be sure to watch this video fully. I'll be showing the internal workings of the pedals and how they are attached to the potentiometer. So let's take a closer look into the pedals. So all these pedals have been independently made and then fixed onto this board temporarily. So I'm in the process of testing out how these pedals work with the sim. And as of now, I have carried out a few tests and they seem kind of good. And I think we are getting towards the end of refinement of these pedals. So let's take a closer look about how these work. So this three pedal setup, we have the clutch here, brake and the accelerator. And for all of these, I have made kind of custom springs, and the springs in the brake and the clutch pedal are much more stiffer than the one in the accelerator. And also the kind of leverage is set up so that the accelerator, as you can see here, is much more easier to kind of push, whereas the brake and the clutch pedal are a bit more stiff, as you would want them to reflect general settings. And for now, let's take a look inside the components of how each pedals work. So you have kind of the spring taken out and pivoted to the part of the pedal is where you have the spring receivers, as I call them, and you have another link which kind of moves a gear with a bigger radius, which then moves a gear with a smaller radius, which is connected to the potentiometer. So to kind of show an exaggerated view, we have a small gear onto which the potentiometer is attached, and then we have a bigger gear which kind of drives the potentiometer. So I chose to use a geared mechanism so that I can get a better resolution for the pedals, and which means that the primary links kind of move the bigger gear, which then moves the smaller gear which is attached to the potentiometer. And it means that for every small movement of the pedal, you can get a much more bigger movement in the potentiometer, which means you have better resolution. And as you can see, we have a few fasteners, a few M8 nuts and bolts keeping the pedals together. And so here you can see the bigger gear, which kind of drives the smaller gear, which in turn relays the information as the pedal input. So the clutch pedal is kept relatively open because to kind of get the fork clutch movement in a car. I don't know whether this design is fully effective, but you kind of get the feel of where the clutch is. So we have a little difference in this part of the arrangement of the clutch, as you can see. It differs to how it is in the brake and the accelerator pedal, because the clutch needs to have kind of an actuating mechanism or actuating feel, whereas the others is a bit different because they just need the compression kind of feel. Now let's take a look at the wiring. So I have a common rail for the 5 volt and at the ground, which then goes into the corresponding potentiometers of all the pedals, and then the input is taken from the pedal into through three of these wires, and this is then connected to the Arduino Leonardo board, which I'm using as the primary board for the sim steering. Also, now let's take a look at the accelerator pedal. There is a bit of difference in construction as I had suggested. So all these parts can be put together and customized to how you want them to be. So here I'm taking out the accelerator assembly. So you have the spring here, and you have a part of the compression mechanism where it holds the spring, and then here is a receiver mechanism, and the whole thing kind of looks like this. So here once again we have the primary link system, which kind of move the bigger gear. So due to the space constraint, I did not print a full gear. So I do not have a full gear. I just have part of that because of the space restrictions that I have here. And so you can see how the mechanism kind of works. So these pedals are kind of slide in to the main lever you have here. So let's put it back. And here too, I have given different slots so that you can adjust the spring force or the force of the accelerator or any pedal as needed. So if you put it a bit higher up, you will have much more harder feel or the stiffer feel. And if you put it a notch below, you will have a much more easier pedal. So, So this was an overview of the sim pedals that I wanted to show you. These are working well right now. There's a bit of fine tuning to be done. There might be a few updates that I'm thinking of making in the future, but as of now, I'll be trying to kind of make do with this. And also do check out my other video on the sequential shifter. I'll be putting a link to that here. And if you need any information about how it is built or how the setup is, do mention in the comments, and I'll be sure to help you guys out. So, guys, that is it from me regarding the 3D printed sim pedals. So, I hope you like this video. Definitely give a thumbs up if you like the video and the build, and do subscribe to my channel. I'll be bringing more stuff like this, and I'll be updating you guys on the progress of the racing sim that I'm building. So that is it from me. You guys take care. Bye.